Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We're back. We're back. Unfortunately, we only have three of the four horsemen here today. Our G Father is not here. If you've been watching this show over the past year or so, I'm sure you know Totti, and I'm sure you know Kitibs and the avid Arsenal fans. But guys, I'm sure you're excited, man, because we've been starved of football. We've been starved of football. How now feel?
And it's good to be back. Good to have some football finally, club football on the horizon. Looking forward to the start of the season. My team is looking great.
Yeah, so your team is
Yeah,
Arsenal. Kitty, what do you want to say
yeah.
about? Do you agree with Totti? Is Arsenal
You
looking
know,
great? You guys are donning your Arsenal shirts.
Arsenal is looking great. We have a good striker. Gabriel Jesus. He scored 8 goals in 7 matches. In how many goals? 8 goals in like
Again,
how
the
many
Premier League
matches
goals
now?
matter.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
those
I
friendly
know,
goals
but
do not matter.
but it's been
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's been great. We are looking forward to a good season. I'm tipping Arsenal to be second or so, or probably latest minimum third. And we are starting the season on Friday against at Crystal Palace. Can't wait to see
No,
it. Up
no,
Gunners.
yeah. Now I'm happy you guys are wearing your jersey. I think we need to be professional. I don't know if you have seen my classic. Let me stand sharp Man U jersey. Um, I like
That's
the
that's the
this
glory
is
days.
throwback. This is throwback
Yeah,
Cantona type times. But I
the
like the. I
glory
think this was
days.
1990. This was a 1990 jersey.
Before Man U fell from great glory.
No, you are right
Just
now. You are
reminisce.
right. I think both of our teams have seen better days. But
Yeah,
let's go back to the Premier League, guys. It's been a busy transfer window. I know you guys are optimistic about the season. Um, and there's a lot to talk about. We only have short time, but before we lose the viewers, maybe we should summarize, the transfer window so far. Who do you think has won this transfer window in the Premier League? Focusing on the top six, and who do you think has not performed? That's question number one and number two. Then question number three will be to get your thoughts on how you think your team Arsenal has done. Then I'll tell you how I think my Man United has done. So, Totti, you want to go first? Who's won the Premier League transfer window for you? It's not over. I know there's about 3 or 4 weeks left to go, but so far, who's won the transfer window for you?
I would have to say, um, I'd have to say Liverpool in a way, closely followed by Arsenal. But let me give it to Liverpool because they didn't have much to add um, at the beginning because they were pretty much almost a complete team with complete bench. But in getting Darwin Nunez, I think they've added a different dimension to their game, and I think he's going to be a hit. Their defense is solid. They don't need another defender, but they still have like backup for their left back, for their right back. What's the Gomez can play right back. They have Milner playing right back, and then the other on the other wing, I've forgotten the name of the backup left back for Robertson.
Simicast.
So they didn't need to add much. Yeah, Simicast. Uh, Arsenal, why I think they are a close second is we needed a lot of work. We needed to add, and we added, I think, very smartly, despite our, uh, should I say, disadvantage of not having Champions League football. We still recruited smartly. Getting those players from Man City, Gabriel Jesus, I don't know what Pep was smoking that he let that guy go. He's a good striker, someone that has been in the ranks that should be upgraded once Aguero went. He started playing him left wing, false nine. When you have a pure number nine, well, their losses are again. And Zinchenko, I think that's going to be Arsenal starting left back.
So
Cheney is
you're
still in
calling
growth
Arsenal
mode.
My City Team B.
Man, if you can't make it
That's
that
what you're
if you're
saying.
on team on bench in Man City, your levels. That means you're first team almost everywhere else. So you can say what you want to say. I think they are good signings. They'll fit in very well. So those two, I
Okay.
would say, are like top two. they did the best business.
Good summary. Kitibs,
Well,
what do you think? Do you
for
agree?
me, I agree partially. Let me say, I think looking at the Community Shield game, I think Liverpool, one can say maybe they won the transfer window for now because of Darwin Nunez. I saw him, he was sharp, though there was a chance he missed, but I think it looks like someone that is ready for the Premier League. So I will say Liverpool, and but followed by 2A and 2B. This 2A is Arsenal, just like Totti said. I think we try to address the key areas. We still have some areas that I think we should address, but Gabriel Jesus is the most important one. Then the left back, because our left full back is very injury prone. So so we needed somebody that can fit in. Then also William Saliba came back, and was the young player of the year in the French league. So, and it looks as if he's ready for the Premier League, right? So Arsenal seems to have addressed the most part, but I still want them to get a central defensive midfielder. But also, I will not forget Man City. If you guys remember, Man City, they don't start well. They don't usually start well. Last season, they lost one of their first 3 games. They don't start well, then they peak. I strongly believe Erling Harland and Julian Alvarez will do well, especially Harland. He's just primed to be successful. He missed some chances, but I believe Pep Guardiola will find a way to use him. Okay. So to me, I will still say Arsenal and Man City 2A and 2B.
I think I'll say you're right. Liverpool doesn't have much to fortify. For me, it's still premature to judge based on one game. Nunez looked impressive, very physical. I think Salah is going to have a field day because Nunez is going to take all the attention in the center. Salah is just going to come from inside and just be, destroying him. And Salah looked very, very good in that Community Shield too. So, but I would say the team that I think recruited very well would be Tottenham for me. They've kind of gone under the radar, right? And one of the midfielders I like, Bissouma. There's this deadly 2-footed Croatian guy called Perisic that you guys seem to have forgotten.
And we know him.
Perisic.
But he's moving from one club to another. If you are very good, you won't be going from one club to another.
And I think it's age part of it.
The journeyman. He's a reactive player. He's not what he used to be.
Yeah, and the transfers that came in January, Kulusevski, Betancourt, and there are a few others have come in this summer. And Tottenham is under the radar. I think Richarlison, they're under the radar. Made a lot of big jumps, and I'll make the bold prediction that they may finish third or even second with Antonio Conte's genius. We'll see. We'll see.
They have.
Go ahead.
I think
they have a good
Tottenham.
squad. They have a good.
They have a good squad,
and they have a good.
Let me put it this way. Let me rephrase that. They have an average squad with a deadly front line. Let me put it that way, because I won't say their squad is, apart from the front line with Son Kane and then Kulusevski took head last season was well. They are good. The rest is average, but they have a very good.
Is Tottenham's midfield better than us? Is Arsenal's midfield better than Tottenham's midfield?
I think so.
Yeah.
If everyone is full, if everyone is fully fit.
Yeah. I believe so. Do you know why?
So to believe what Arsenal's midfield is better than Tottenham's midfield?
Midfield.
Give me a 3.
No. Let me tell you. The reason why I said is that Arsenal midfield scored 70% of our goals last season came from our midfielders. So our midfielder is because we didn't have a striker. If we had a striker, we would have made the top 4. All those 0-0, we lost 1. We drew 1-1. It would have been 2-1. It would have been a win.
So your midfield is Partey, who and who?
Our midfield. Let me even say, okay,
defensive and attacking midfielders.
Yeah, give me your midfield so we can
when
look
we're
at
playing
Tottenham compare.
4-2-3-1, so I have to call all of them 4-2-3-1. But let's say Partey, Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, Odegaard in the middle.
Are those midfielders though? Saka you put there as a winger
Okay.
now. So
Yeah.
take Saka
let me
out,
even
take
say,
Martinelli out.
okay, let me leave Saka, let me
call.
leave Martinelli. Let me say 3. Partey, Xhaka, and Odegaard. I'll prefer them to Tottenham's midfield, even if you include the wing backs in this guy's system. 3-4-3 is basically what's his name? Højbjerg, Betancourt, and then
Bissouma.
the people who is on the right.
Bissouma is going to play.
Bissouma just came in.
Even if Bissouma comes in.
But eventually, Bissouma, I don't know how they'll shape it. Betancourt.
Even if you say let them play 4-3-3, Betancourt, Bissouma, Højbjerg, I'll still take Arsenal. Betancourt, Bissouma, Højbjerg.
Yeah, you may have a point there thinking about it now. It's just
what helps Tottenham, look, is their front three is
their front three. That was it.
Helps them, and they have a good coach. Everything else, their team is average.
And the defense can be better. So yeah, so I think Tottenham low key will make it to the top 4. Yes or no?
I think Tottenham could make. I'm not.
Well, top 4.
No, they will make it because
Man U is not. That's number 1.
Sorry, Man U is not a contender.
So yeah, it's possible. Yes, because they might be 4th.
And I think Chelsea has a lot of dysfunction going on. So if they don't get the act together,
my concern.
If they don't get the act together,
Chelsea seems dysfunctional. They bought in players, but they've not been able to really hit it well. I mean, the lost players
before.
Sterling is the only one the only main one they brought. You know,
Sterling, the defense.
Then
of course,
Koulibaly is a big buyer. You can't.
Koulibaly.
So they're thinking that maybe they will have a lot of 0-0 games too and chip in one goal. But yeah. So prediction. Let me see if I can chop your money now as the season is about to start. Who is going to finish higher, Arsenal or Tottenham?
Arsenal. I will go with Arsenal.
How much?
Oh, Arsenal, of course.
How much?
Go with Arsenal this time.
No.
I'm ready to go. Oh my gosh.
What?
Who are you expecting again? Neymar? Messi? Ronaldo? Who are you expecting again?
To bet?
I'll bet $50.
Okay, Arsenal.
You guys don't even look confident. You should see yourself on the video. You don't look confident.
Arsenal will finish above Tottenham. That's first bet.
50.
And Arsenal will make that's $50. And Arsenal will make top 4.
I'm not betting the top 4 because I think that's
no. We need to
realistic. No, I'm just betting as Tottenham is going to finish higher than Arsenal. And if you're confident, you take the bet.
No.
Go hard.
No, I took it. I'm taking it.
Totti's taking there.
Oh no, I'm not taking it yet. I'll not take it yet.
Yeah.
I'll not take it yet.
Yeah. Okay. So Kitibs and I have gone. So guys, nice discussion about the transfer window. You guys didn't answer the second question. Who do you think has not done enough in this transfer window? I think you partly answered it though.
I think it's
obviously from the bottom is Man U number 1. They are the last in terms of the top team. Obviously, I can't be comparing Man U with Nottingham Forest. But maybe I should actually. But they have not done well. They practically bought nobody, and they've sold or people have just been going free like anything. Pogba, etc. It's going to be tough. I don't see any much progress in terms of their play going forward. But maybe this new coach will make magic out of the little that he has.
No, the preseason has not been bad. They have some very young, I don't know if you know this Amad Diallo guy. Very impressive. I watched him in Rangers when he went on loan there last season. He looked very good. Very fast, very skillful. And long guys, maturing. You have Rashford. Martial looks like he has a new lease of life, but who knows how long that will last for. Ronaldo seems more like a liability now. The midfield definitely needs a lot of work. So I don't know how they're going to line that up. McTominay,
Christian
Fred,
Eriksen has come in.
Ericsson,
Christian Eriksen.
Fernandez. Yeah, I don't know. That's the part that I wish they could get someone who was very. All those people I've mentioned, none of them is really physical. So how are they going to win those midfield battles? Defense, they fortified it with Lisandro Martinez. Maguire is a bit more confident. Had a rough season last year. Lindelof is Lindelof. Shaw's on the left side. Dallo seems like he's won that right side on the right back. So the defense is kind of the same. And Martinez ahead is a tough tackler. I didn't really watch him back in Ajax, but I think the midfield is where they're going to be found wanting. They really need talent there. Not say Pogba was doing much, but they need someone who's a ball winner, machinery kind of guy, or a ball stopper in front of the defense. Who's that going to be? So that's what they need to fix to me. And we said the same thing last season before the season started. They didn't do much there, So I agree, Man United has not done much. But I guess the going back to the Community Shield, it was almost like it was a good game, You wouldn't even know it was a Community Shield. Both were trying to battle. To me, it was more like it's
Yeah,
the battle of Harland versus Darwin Nunez, who
Yeah.
made the better signing, and that's what the season is going to boil down to. What do you guys think?
I think personally, and there's not much evidence to back it up, but I think Darwin Nunez is a better fit for Liverpool than Haaland for Man City.
Off one game,
And then,
Totti off one
well,
game.
let's see. Let's see. Pep has a
Recency
very
bias.
rigid
You
way of
don't.
playing.
Yeah. Huh?
Pep has a very rigid way of playing, which is surprising, to some people. Unlike Klopp, there's a little more flexibility with Klopp in terms of the front three. Sometimes they exchange. I just see Nunes as fitting in more into the Premier League, number one, and two, more into Liverpool style than Haaland. Haaland will kind of need to learn more to fit into Man City style than Darwin Nunes fitting into Liverpool. So that's what I think.
Kitty, what do you think?
Well, for me, I think I still believe Alan is a better striker, has a maybe more profile, is much more known. I believe if you are a striker, the instinct is there. He just needs to get used to that Pep Guardiola's way of playing and get used to the team. He will get a lot of assists. Now, Nunes might be much more suited for Liverpool, and how both Nunes performs and how Alan performs will determine who will win the Premier League. But I have great trust in Man City and in Pep Guardiola. I think that loss in the Community Shield might be a blessing in disguise. If we look at what happened and we try to make changes, he might even tweak his formation to make it much more comfortable for Alan to express himself better and to be much more successful.
Okay, I kind of agree. City, it takes a while for most people to, Grealish, took a while to adjust. All those big names came, took a while to adjust. Eventually, they found their fits. And Haaland is going to realize how physical and fast the Premier League is. So, and they say it takes a while to adjust to that, right? So we'll see at the end of the day who the better signing was. But I agree. It's this season is going to be each team trying to prove they made the better buy. One team spent almost 100 million. The other spent about 70, 75 million on players. So we'll see how much impact they have. But most of the team remains unchanged, both teams. So that's how confident they are in what they have. I think that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. So let's come down to a bit to your team, Arsenal. They made some signings. What are you excited about?
For me, I'm excited about Gabriel Jesus. That's a nine. I'm also excited about our left fullback, Zinchenko, because I saw him a lot when he was playing for Man City. He deserves to start, and I'm happy we have him. And also, the new guy, Vera, that guy in the midfield, I've not seen him play, but I've seen some of his clips in his former club. And I'm hoping for the best. I think if we really play quite well, we should make the top four, no doubt, and probably, maybe third position. So I'm very, very hopeful.
I laugh. I laugh because you guys said this top four last year. I haven't said
Okay, bad,
second.
but
Oh boy. Anyway,
So,
Totti,
Tati, what do you
what do you
think?
think?
I think the same. I think Arsenal has, for once, two things stand out. For once, they bought a player of caliber in a position that we need. They don't do it often, or rather, in multiple positions that we need. They don't do that often. A lot of times, what has plagued Arsenal over the years is, hey, we need three players: attack, defense, and midfield. We'll get one attack, and then next season, we now get midfielder. Meanwhile, the attack needs work. So we are never addressing the whole problems. This time around, I think they did that. They got Jesus, who is a world-class striker, international, Brazilian international. They got a midfielder in Vieira, even though he's injured and he can't play, an attacking, creative midfielder. They have got Zinchenko, who, one of the reasons why we didn't make top four actually is, and not to single out a player, was our deputy in left back was not adequate. Tavares,
Wasn't
when
good enough.
Tierney was out, the guy was leaking goals, like, obvious goals, not even that.
But he was
Maybe
bought
you
last
can't.
year, right? He was scouted. He was
Yeah,
bought last
yeah.
year.
So he was supposed to be a backup, but he was not ready. So that was the area we were buying. You have to address, at a top club, you address what you need now. If you are buying someone for the future, then it's not that you need him, but you just want to groom him. What Arsenal will do is they will buy, hoping for the person to miraculously step up and be a Fabregas or be a Saka. Not everybody can progress as rapidly as those guys. So I think we've done better this time. Even in defense, bringing back Saliba to fight for his place is smart. I see Arsenal being more mature in the transfer market now.
Since I have you guys both here, how do you see the Arsenal team lining up?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been keeper 1-0. There it's been Zinchenko, Gabriel, then William Saliba and Ben White on the right. There, of course,
Ben White to play right back.
right.
Yeah.
There's Saka.
What
and
to
then
What happened to him?
Saka.
He's injured.
I mean,
He's recovering.
Injured,
Let me put it that way.
recovering.
It's not going to be too early.
That means that we will not leak goals, and we have Gabriel Jesus. So we 1-0. There will be lots of 1-0, 2-1, which is good. So midfield, Saka and Partey. Then attacking Odegaard, Saka and Martinelli, and then Gabriel Jesus. You know the formation.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Speed from the
4-2-3-1
left, creativity
or
from the right.
4-3-3.
Martinelli is about speed. Saka is about skills, create dribble. Then Odegaard passes, incisive passes.
Who's the better
defense,
player,
Yeah,
Martinelli or Saka? Who do you think has higher?
Saka.
At the present now, Saka. But let's see
Saka.
what
Martinelli
Martinelli will
flows
do.
his flashes of, man, like this guy can become
But
something.
sometimes his final delivery is not good. If we beat everybody on that left hand, just make a meaningful, accurate pass. You just do it to anywhere but left place.
Okay.
He's showing flashes, but to me, Saka is more complete than him now. But obviously, he still has room for improvement, and he's young.
Okay, so we've talked about the transfers. We've talked about the top six. We've talked about the players that have come in. Talked about Chelsea and the dysfunction. Any predictions on relegation? I know it's too early. We haven't even watched them play. So just who do you think is going to go down? Do you think any of the new boys that are coming in will go back, or?
New boys are always favorite to go back down. But in addition to new boys, let me just say the one that will probably go down. They were lucky last time. Brentford.
You think
they'll
probably
go down?
Yeah, but they bought somebody. I think they made a signing over this weekend, and I read about the guy. I mean, he's a decent person, from all city or so. I'm not sure. To me, I
Okay.
think Leeds escaped by whisker last time, and I think Leeds might go down, especially the fact that they sold this guy to Papa.
Rafinha,
Yeah, I
Rafinha was
think Leeds
their
might go
lead,
down. Leeds
their
might go
lead
down
screen.
this time around.
Yeah, I think Leeds has
Yeah,
a good chance of
yeah.
going down.
I think Brentford, Leeds, and maybe Fulham.
Okay, so let's go into predictions as we're rounding up. Player of the season.
My heart wants to give Erling Harland, but my brain is telling me maybe Darwin Nunez. To be honest,
Player of
from
the
what I saw,
season or highest goal scorer?
player, player. I'm talking about
Striker
player of
for
the
player of the
season.
season. Okay.
Yes, of course. What if he scored 35 goals? What? In La Liga, it was either Messi or Ronaldo. It was either one of them. So
Yeah.
I find I probably won't pick any of them for player of the season. First year in the Premier League to be hard to.
oh,
Totti,
okay.
do you
Yeah,
agree?
man, that would be record. Yeah, that would be. And Premier League is a tough season. It's a tough league. I think I just have to feel something about Liverpool. That this year will be their year. They, they were not far off any of the competitions last year. It wasn't as if they were. And this year they've added. Yes, I know Mane has gone, but they had, people that were similar, players that were similar to Mane. Now they have someone that gives them another dimension. So I think they'll do better. And really, like you said earlier, I think Darwin Nunez' presence will make Salah a little more kind of liberated, so he can. I think he will be player of the season. He's always in the running every time.
Okay. So you think Salah is player of the season? I think De Bruyne
Yeah.
will probably still, if he's healthy, it'll be hard to knock him off that, that mantle. But well said. What of highest goal scorer?
Yeah. It's the usual suspects. Kane, Salah. Let me pick. Let me pick Salah
Okay.
because he will not have World Cup to distract him and like the other time. I think he will
Yeah,
be more
No, you're not
focused.
picking
Salah is a
Martinelli
good
with all
choice.
the assists you're talking
I mean, the
about.
Habba.
Sorry, I
How
said
can it be
Martinelli,
what?
Gabby Jesus.
Jesus.
You guys
I
were
mean,
shouting him up a few
Gabriel
minutes
Jesus might
ago.
be like third or fourth.
Yeah,
Gabriel,
he'll
oh
be
my
good,
God.
but it's too much.
Okay. Who do you think is going to be? I thought Kitibs, who's going to be highest goal scorer?
I think Salah, Haaland, followed by Jesus. Then Kane. Oh, Kane. Salah or Kane will be number 1 and 2. One of them. Then maybe Haaland and then Jesus.
I think
The
Haaland
relatives
will
to me.
struggle. I think he's not going to have a bad year, but he may get like
Yeah,
11, 12 goals. That's what I think. He
yeah.
may underwhelm a little. I'm not super impressed with Nunez. I know he had a good game, so I hope I feel Nunez will never will not crack 10 goals. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'll be shocked if he cracks 10 goals. I know that goal in his debut would give him confidence.
Compliment.
That's valuable. But when the pressure starts, competition, I think like the guys who've done this over and over, like Salah, Kane, will show their faces again. Definitely nobody in Man United will make the top five. But boys, let's round up. I know it's late. Final thoughts on. I have to just chime this in Barcelona. They're buying everybody. They feel buy you now, sir. the way they are shopping around.
I honestly don't understand what they are doing because I thought they were broke. They were in almost nearing bankruptcy, but they are just pulling deals out of the hat.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of the players they are buying are older players who should be cheaper on the front end, but they'll probably have higher salaries. But I
Yeah.
think, looking at their team on paper, it looks formidable, though. It looks formidable, but that team is, at least the older guys are not going to last two or more years, no more than 2 years. So they have to build and bring up the young guys quickly.
But
But they are young
the
crew. They are young
core of the players are young, right?
four.
You
Yeah,
know,
they
the
look
core
very
of
good.
Ansu
The young
Fati,
four.
Rafinha,
Gavi,
you know,
Mhm.
Gavi,
Rafinha, Gavi,
Pedri,
Fati,
you know,
Pedri.
the core of the young players. Kunde
Even the
is
defense.
26, I think. I'm not sure. So,
Yeah.
how do you think?
So
Do you think they're gonna? Do you
rebuilding.
think they're gonna compete this season, Champions League? How do you think they will?
Well,
I think
they may, but to me, I think just to answer how they got the money, what they did was that they sold some of the name. Now, New Camp is now called Shopify. Is this Shopify or something like that? So they sold some of the naming rights with for millions of pounds or euros, whatever it is, and they were able to use that money to justify the buying.
Yeah.
So, but I think they want to. They fell out of the league fight. They didn't really compete for the league. They didn't really compete for the Champions League, and they felt that this cannot continue because they know if you become irrelevant for some years, you might go into oblivion. So they want to address that
Like
quickly.
Arsenal.
But well, yeah. So, but they don't have Messi again. That's just it.
Okay. Any final thoughts, guys?
I mean, top four Premier League
Okay, let's do top four. We
ranking.
kind of said
not top four. Guaranteed top four.
No,
Let me
the
not.
ranking. The ranking.
Oh, the ranking.
Premier League top four. That's what
Okay,
they're
I would
asking.
say.
Predictions.
Okay, prediction. Mine is Liverpool number 1, Man City number 2, Arsenal number 3, Tottenham 4.
I agree. Liverpool 1, Man City 2, Arsenal 3, Tottenham 4. But it's hard to put Man City number 2. It's hard because Man City is a team that can go on 17 games winning streak. I'm telling you, 17 games.
The point with you guys is the whole recency bias. You watch charity, community shield, all of a sudden Liverpool are the done, right? So we'll see how it pans out. Like I said, I don't think Sadio Nunez will impress this year. I don't think he will. If he's playing those, teams that are hard to beat, very physical defenders, I think it'll be hard to win against those teams, to score against those teams. They've lost Mane, so Salah may end up doing a lot of the work, So I've witnessed Man City so many times. I cannot not choose Man City as number 1. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Man City
I cannot not choose them. So Man City will be number 1 for me. I think Tottenham is going to do very well, but I don't know if they'll be good enough to come second. So I'll give that to Liverpool. I think Tottenham just needs a good start. You can see where they came from when Conte took over the team in January, and before you know it, they're chugging along trying to finish 4th. That's how it is. So I'll say Man City first, Liverpool second, Tottenham a close 3rd, maybe even 2nd. Chelsea will not make top 4. They'll probably finish 5th to 6th. I would think Man United will finish above Arsenal.
Well, I take that there. That one I would take 50 Man U. Arsenal finish above Man U.
Arsenal finish above Man U.
If you take on that one, to me that one is stealing candy from a baby. But if you get it, do that one.
I'm tempted to do it. I'm tempted to do it. Let's watch the first weekend. Let's watch the first come back.
Man U will not finish above Arsenal. Trust me. Without aces, we finish above Man U. It's like saying Arsenal will finish above Liverpool or Man City. Really, that is a tough call. To be honest, currently it's hard.
We'll see.
So
let's watch the first weekend, then come back, then we'll place the real bets. It's all coaching. It's all coaching. Pogba is gone. If Ronaldo leaves, I think they'll do very well. If Ronaldo stays, then I may agree
Yeah,
that United may not. But if Ronaldo leaves and those boys up front, Sancho can be free on, no one is bullying them around. Rashford can
yeah.
gain his confidence back. I think
Man,
there's a
no,
good chance.
seriously. The Man U front line is underwhelming without Ronaldo. Who are we people afraid of? Sancho, Marshall. Very, the only person that even can instill some fear, Ronaldo.
Let's see.
I'm sure I don't know what
But
Man U is
Ronaldo
doing
is
though.
like
I
Pogba, they're
think
good players, but when they're in the locker room, Now they're saying that the king is playing on Saturday. I don't know if you heard when he tweeted that. So that's how he says the king. He didn't know preseason. But boys, anyhow, the season is back. It's good to have you guys back. Hopefully this season we can get more guests who are not Arsenal or Man United fans. So feel free to hit us up at Lagosian in NYC if you want to join the show. And we'll be around. We'll try and be around every week to break down the games and debate and comment on the going ons in the Premier League and football in general. Guys, have a good night.
night.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.